Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm playing the beginning of the Feast of Hemlock Vale, the newest campaign expansion for Arkham Horror the card game. And disclaimer that I was sent a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Feast of Hemlock Vale is a little different from most campaigns in that you have these preludes. So I actually already played through this. This is just like walking around the town and talking to people, and you do get to kind of set up your hand and play some cards from your deck. I think that would be super interesting to film, so I'm just jumping right into the first real scenario. You have a bunch of choices of where to go. I, off the suggestion of Leah Atwood, the cook for the town, decided to go to the Silent Heath. And for a little bit of background, we found some like mysterious plants from this area, this island, and now we found out they're having like this big festival, even though the island's been like super closed off until this time. And yeah, me and my team are trying to get to the bottom of that. So let's find out what's going on with the Silent Heath. So first I'll read through the quick intro and give you the details of the scenario, and then I'll show you my deck. It's a pretty basic one using one of the new investigators, and we'll go from there. And I'm probably going to do a bonus play of one of the other scenarios, so if you want to see a bit more of the campaign, check out our Patreon. You can see it there. So we are coming during day one. You have these cards that track whether it's day or night as you go in, and it's up to 3 days, but yeah, we are still in day one. This is our first scenario. So we're going to intro one. You step out of Theo's truck, accompanied by Leah Atwood, and look up at Hemlock Isle's highest point. The narrow, winding road gives way to the soft, sand-like ash that blankets the heath. The black rocks at the top of the hill look like jagged teeth. A dread silence pervades everything as you walk up the hill with the Vale's cook. There's a reason folks don't live here anymore. Watch yourself up here. I don't know what lives in the caves, and I don't intend to find out. I'm doing a southern accent. I don't know where this actually is. It's probably New England, right? It always is with Arkham. As if in response, a strong wind blows up clouds of white ash. Okay, go into intro 5. You reach the old Pearl Estate and stop yourself from walking into the yawning dark chasm in front of the dilapidated house. A shattered rooftop at the northern end of the estate tells a story of some violent impact. Judging by the scattered boards, something shot out of the interior with the force of a cannonball. As you survey the ruins, you wonder what awful catastrophe befell the Pearl family. A skittering black shadow flits at the edge of your vision. When you turn to look, it's gone. All right, let's see what else is going on. So we've got agenda, unsettling silence. The dry landscape is perfectly still. A beguiling glow hangs over everything. So it's got 8 before we advance to the second card. It says when doom is placed on this agenda, if the brood queen enemy is set aside, which it currently is, reveal tokens from the chaos bag equal to the number of insect enemies in the victory display. So if I kill these insect enemies. If a skull or auto fail token is revealed, I think that's 3 tokens in the entire bag at the medium difficulty I'm playing, then I spawn the brood Kudaway. So kind of reminds me of Forgotten Age, right? Where you don't want to kill the snakes. I don't want to kill the insects if I can help it. A lost legacy. The legacy of Pearl Ridge is a story of note among the locals. The Pearls were a predominant family like the Hemlocks and Atwoods, but the family vanished in a curious incident back in 1906. What could have happened here? Okay, when the round ends, investigators of the Pearl Estate ruins may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance 2. And this is a pretty smallish map. So we start out with the Pearl Estate ruins, the Ashen Slope, and the Crystal Grove. They are all connected to each other. But in most scenarios in this campaign, you're going to be putting places out in a grid fashion, exploring a bit, kind of like, I guess, Forgotten Age again. And then those will become adjacent to each other in orthogonal fashions. Like if I get something here, I can go there from the Pearl Estate Ruins or the Crystal Grove. But that does not supersede the actual indicated adjacencies by symbol. So again, even when those other cards come out, these 3 cards will still be adjacent to each other. So right now we're at the Pearl Estate Ruins. The wreck of a once great house stands precariously on the edge of a cliff. The decaying roofs look like an empty patchwork. And looks like there's 1 clue there, 3 shroud. We can resign. Let's not do that. It says the former orchard and farm has turned to powder from years of neglect. Nearly 2 decades have passed, yet nature has not reclaimed the opulent estate. And Leah Atwood is here. She's the one who told me about this place. Oh, that's not 1 clue. That's 3. Sorry, there we go. So I don't know how to get her as an ally yet. She would give me +1 strength, but I can parlay with her, and this is what I did back in the Prelude as well. If I test 2 strength and succeed, I get to read a codex entry, and this is unique for each scenario, so these are like little things. And if she's defeated, set her aside out of play, and your campaign log, decrease her relationship level. Yeah, because I talked to some people in the Prelude, I have a higher relationship with them, which is little dots I'm marking off on the campaign tracker. So she likes me a little bit, I guess. Yeah, then we've got the Crystal Grove, we've got the Ashen Slope. We need 2 clues, so 2 per investigator, so I'll try to get the 1 there, and then I guess one at one of the other locations. As I said, it's day one. There were a bunch of like special monsters I took out of the deck and put aside, so I'm guessing there won't be too many at first. And yeah, it looks like a lot of insect-related stuff on these tokens, although I think right now I only have Skulls and Tentacle Head in the bag. I don't think I have the Cultist or the Broken Slate, so those shouldn't come up. All right, so who is my new character? Let's meet him. Wilson Richards is the new Guardian. He's a handyman. I wanted to try, I've not done a true solo campaign in a while. I've been mostly doing 2 investigator games. So I wanted to try true solo since he's got all 3s, kind of like Jenny from the original sets. 8 and 6, and his whole thing is tools. He's a tool man. So reduce the resource cost of the first tool you play each round by 1, and you get +1 skill value during skill tests from tool assets. So anytime I make a skill test or use an action from a tool, I'll get +1 to it. And his deck building lets you have any tool cards. You'll see I have some from almost every class in here, especially a lot of Survivor for combat, Rogue for clue gathering. I can have Guardian cards up to level 4, neutral cards up to level 5, and then up to 5 other improviser upgrade cards. I forget if I did that. And some basic ones. And in the Prelude, I got to keep 1 card I had played, so I went out of my way to play my most expensive card, which is Greta Wagner. I think I used her in my last video on the channel. But yeah, she gives me +1 strength, so I'll be a 4. And after I defeat an enemy, I can exhaust her and deal 1 damage to her out of her 3 to get a clue at her location for free. I mainly got her into play because she has 5. Now, additionally, I got to bring my hand from the Prelude, but only up to 5 cards, and bring my resources, but only up to 5. So you kind of get to set up what's in your hand, and you also can have less. Like I could have come into here with 2 or 3 cards and only 1 or 2 resources if I had spent too much in the Prelude. But yeah, I've got a nice assortment of the things I want. I've got Lockpicks and Thieves Kit are both tools that are going to help me investigate really well. These are actually both the weapons I put in my deck, so I don't really need both of them. Sledgehammer is my main go-to because it is a tool. So if I get it for its 2 action thing, I can attack with, what would it be? So 3 strength, 4 strength, 6 strength, +1 because using a tool. So 7 strength for 3 damage. Pretty dang good, although it is 2 actions. The backup is Gravedigger's Shovel, because the big limitation in this deck, and I haven't actually played with it yet, so just hope that it works as I imagine it will. The big limitation is hands. So you'll see that like if I wanted to play all of these, that would be 5 hands, and I don't have 5 hands. The tool belt from Scarlet Keys, that's what the Scarlet was. That's going to help a little bit because it basically lets me exhaust it as a free action to put a tool onto it, and then that tool just kind of like hangs out. So I could like have the Thieves Kit on here while I have the Gravedigger's Shovel equipped, and then as a free action exhaust this to swap them, stuff like that. So that should be helpful. But there are also some hidden pockets and other things waiting in my deck that will let me just get more hand slots in general, or lower the hand slot requirement of some things. That's what I'll probably need to get like the Sledgehammer in play. All right, so yeah, the main things I want to do is investigate that 1 clue and talk to Leah at my place. So let's just jump right in. Better investigating. Lockpick is my strongest one. It lets me add my agility value to my skill, which means I would be a 6 to start and then a 7 because I'm using a tool. Pretty dang good. But if I don't succeed by at least 2, I do discard it. So if I draw a bad token, it could go away right away. Thieves Kit is not nearly as strong. It gets 6 uses. When I spend a supply, I investigate. I could use agility instead of intelligence. That doesn't matter at all. But if I succeed, I gain 1 resource in addition to the clue, which is pretty dang good. And again, that would be a 4 because I have +1 for every tool action I use. But this is a 3 shroud. So yeah, let's play the Lockpicks. That only costs me 2 because I reduced the resource of cost of the first tool I play each round by 1. And I think that's probably it for playing cards. I want to space out my tool playing to save resources if possible. And let's go ahead and try to lockpick my way into the estate. The bag is pretty standard, except, again, there aren't that many special things in here. Oh, let's see what a skeleton is. -X. X is half the number of insect enemies in play and in the victory display. Oh, so if I don't kill them, they'll still mess me up. But still, here it's -0, so I get the clue, and I definitely don't lose my lockpicks. Yes. Okay, and final action. Let's try to talk to Leah about this place. So parlay, test 2 strength. So that would normally be 3, but I'm 4 because of Greta Wagner. And right now, all of my items are pretty useful, so I'll just try it with a 2 advantage. -0 again. Okay, that works. So we go to the codex, to the book, and see what she says. Used to be this was about the only place on the island where you could get anything to grow. In fact, you couldn't get things to stop growing. The Pearl family had a whole operation, orchards and vineyards, to say nothing of the mining and whaling. Then 20 years ago, almost to the day, something happened. Can you believe my sister talks about it like it was some kind of miracle? She scoffs. In Leah Atwood's notes, record Leah searched the Pearl Ruins. Okay, I'll get that. Oh, we gain a clue from the token pool. We're going to advance immediately. This is great. Yes, so no enemies. We go right to the upkeep phase. We get a resource. We get another sledgehammer. That's certainly not needed, so I can discard that for extra combat if I need it. That takes us to our first myth. No. I don't go to the Mythos phase because I want to do this. When the round ends, I can spend... I am at the Pearl State Ruins, so I can spend 2 clues. This was the fastest advancement ever. Let's see. Amongst the ruins of the Pearl Estate, you find Susan Pearl's diary. It details attempts to explore the tunnels beneath the ridge. They were called the Warrens due to their maze-like structure. Perhaps some of the Pearl family disappeared in the surrounding tunnels, but why? You resolve to investigate. Okay, so randomly put the 3 set-aside locations. This is something you did at the beginning from the Horrors on the Rock encounter set into play, unrevealed, adjacent to the 3 starting locations. Take the remaining set-aside locations, Salt Chamber, Larval Tunnel, and Crystal Nursery, along with the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, shuffle them together, and randomly deal 1 card face down beneath each location. So interesting, since I'm only putting 1 out of the 6 cards beneath each of the locations, I'm not guaranteed to have the special cards in there. I might just have encounter cards. Yes, I randomly picked 3 caverns, and these are going to go out now. And they have to be adjacent to these starting locations, so I guess that's the most logical way to arrange them. So now again, even though these have no icons, they are adjacent to everything that is orthogonal to them. Pretty straightforward. Okay, then I'm taking these 3 special locations and shuffling them with the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, and each of these caverns is going to get 1 of these cards. And then I guess 3 will what? Yes, I guess it's just kind of like luck of the draw whether I actually have the places I need under these caverns, unless I'm misunderstanding. All right, so here we go. Boop, boop. Oh, wait, I get it. They said beneath each location. They did not say each new location. I think these places also get 1. Interesting. I think I'm interpreting that right. Because it would seem weird if like none of the locations were in play just by the bad luck of the draw and you literally couldn't advance. So what's this new one say? Searching the Heath. The Warrens are likely the final resting place of the Pearl family. Studying their remains may shed light on what really happened here. Okay, so if there are no clues in your location, as an action, I can draw the top card beneath my location. Or if investigators your location can spend, for me, 1 clue to look at the top card beneath your location. Oh, okay, so you can see if it's worth worth your time or not. I have no clues, so I'm just probably going to take the chance with the first one underneath me, but good to know for later. And, okay, I'm just trying to find crystal remains. I still don't know where those come from. I know I put them to the side, but I'm not sure how I get them. I'm guessing some of those new locations will have them. Okay, so that was the end of the actual first turn. So we got our first Doom out of 8. And let's see, Chroma Blight. Put Chroma Blight into play in your threat area, 1 per investigator. After you draw 1 or more cards from your deck, place 1 resource on Chroma Blight as brilliance. What's coming out of me? If there's a total of 6 brilliance on Chroma Blight, put a set-aside copy of Crystal Parasite into play at your location, then remove Chroma Blight from the game. Okay. I mean, if I don't use any powers that draw me extra cards, and I don't really have any, it should take a while for that to deal with. But yeah, otherwise I don't really see any way to get rid of it. So eventually some big... Oh, and I bet that's a friggin' bug. I bet that's an insect that's going to mess with me. So definitely want to hurry that up. All right, well, thanks for nothing, encounter deck. Okay, it takes us back to the action phase. I mean, she's not really doing anything, so let's just kind of ignore her. So yeah, let's take a chance and do an action to see what this is. Ah, darn it. It is not one of the things. Commanding Resonance. Okay, test 3 willpower. That's exactly what I have. For each point you fail by, choose a different option. Take 1 damage, discard 1 card at random. The nearest insect enemy readies, moves until it reaches your location, engages you, makes it... Well, that part doesn't matter at all. So I might fail him by 1. By more than that would suck. Oh, what happens? So I can swap a tool, but no, I like having the lockpick. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. But I know that my location is useless now, so let's go... I want to go to, like, the more normal places or to the caverns? Let's go to the more normal places. I'm going to spend my second action to go to the Crystal Grove. A once-living orchard looks more like a delicate glasswork gallery. The apple trees have crystallized and reflect the light in shifting patterns. That is very cool art there. Okay. So, only a 2 shroud. 1 clue there. Investigators of Crystal Grove may spend 1 clue as a group to add a crystal remains you control. You control to the victory display. Okay, so never mind. I could just... Oh, no, I have to get the clue first. I was about to say I could have just checked it. So I checked there and got the bad card. I moved here. So yeah, let's go ahead and try to get that clue with the lockpicks. So I'm still a 7 minus 1. So that's 6. I succeeded by at least 2, so I keep the lockpicks, and I get that. So now I can use that as a free action. Let's go ahead and spend the clue to see what this one is. Oh, cool, it's one of the chambers. All right, so I definitely want to do that one in a second. Yeah, I didn't play any other tools for my discount, but I don't think I need to yet. Ooh, Matchbox is nice. Doesn't use up a hand. So it has uses, 3 supplies. Matchbox has no supplies get discarded. During any investigator's turn, exhaust Matchbox and spend 1 supply. Your location gets -1 shroud until the end of this turn. Although, I mean, lockpicks are doing pretty great so far, but if I get like a 4 shroud place, I might want to bust those out. Now that Matchbox draw does unfortunately get me 1 towards Chromoblight, and I'm back at 5 resources. All right, and 2, and Alien Whispers. It has 3 willpower. Okay, same thing as the other one, except just different effects. We'll find out what they are after we draw. Here we go. Whoa, what the heck, man? All right, I mean, I wish the bonus for drawing that was better, like it is for some characters. What would it have been? Take a damage. Oh, it can only be assigned to an asset you control, so it would have had to hurt Greet. Oh, same thing with the Horror, or discard a card at random from your hand. Those all suck. All right, let's zoom out a bit, because I'm going to have to, I think, add this place. All right, so 1 action. Salt Chamber. Yeah, so put Salt Chamber into play adjacent to the location from which it was drawn. Oh, and then I'm going to read that. Okay, let's check that real quick. Ton of clues there, but very high shroud. That's what's this say? A narrow cleft in the side of a tunnel leads into a spacious cavern. Salt formations form delicate spidery patterns that hang from the ceiling and rise from the floor. The air is sharp with a bitter alkaline taste mixed with a repugnant musky scent. Several desiccated corpses, some of them human, litter the floor, overgrown with salt. Perhaps the local creatures use the salt in this chamber as a natural preservative, a pantry of sorts. Terrible. Oh, here we go. Gather one of the set-aside crystal remnant cards along with the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. Shuffle them together and place the 3 cards face down as a stack. All right. Well, that's exciting. So one of these 3 is the thing that I actually want. So there's 3 clues. Now, it has its own ability. Investigators at the Salt Chamber spend 1 clue to draw the top card beneath it. So I can either gather all 3 of the clues and then just spend actions to draw it and remember use the free things to look at the top card, or I can just try to fast track things. Okay, so let's move. That was my first action. Second action. And I guess I'll try to lockpick. Lockpicks aren't going to last very long against a 4 shroud. Should I put up my Matchbox? Only has 3 uses, though. I don't know. Let's give it a try. Uh-oh. -2. If you're at a lair, reveal another token. Oh, my God. Yep, this is great. Okay, so unfortunately, -2 means I didn't pass by at least 2. So I do get the clue, but I also lose the lockpicks. That sucks. I mean, not too surprising. I probably should have tried to do something else there. That's my third action, so I could peek at the top card and then put it on the bottom if it's not a card I want. Because remember, it's only a 1/3 chance that a good card is there. Or I could just spend a clue to draw it. That doesn't seem very smart. All right, we'll be fine. Okay, so I'm getting that. That's 6. We're getting another Chroma Blight. Uh-oh, here's my Treachery. Darn it. Put hasty repairs into play in your threat area while triggering abilities on assets you control. Set your base skill value to 0. So suddenly I am terrible with my tools. And I have to spend 2 actions to get rid of it. Guess I'm going to. By the way, I kind of wish some enemies would come and I could Sledgehammer them, because then Greta or Greet would just get me 1 clue for free. Although there'll probably be insects, and then I don't want that. All right, so that's up to 3. And who's our friend? Uh-oh. Okay, it's not an insect. Ooh, it's a color. This one based on the color out of space. Okay, so it has Aloof, Hunter, and if it's nighttime, it has Elusive, which it's not. Oh, gosh. Cannot be damaged except by spell, relic, science, or encounter cards. Yeah, definitely none of those are mine. Forced. When you discard 1 or more cards from hand at Miasmatic Shadow's location, if it is ready, it engages you and makes an immediate attack. Okay. So, at least right now, it's not engaging me. It's just chilling here. And I don't have to discard any cards. So, yeah, because I'm not going to, boost my own skill test, I don't think. So I guess we'll just go with it. All right, so first, for a free action, I'm going to look at the top card. And oh, crap, that's it. Shoot. So I could have just gotten it. Okay, well, that's fine. At least we got lucky with where it is, but now we need another clue to actually get it. Oh, but I still have the stupid hasty repairs. Oh, no, that didn't cost me an action. Okay, so let's play the Thieves' Kit using my discounts. It only cost me 2. It doesn't make me any better at investigating, but I get +1 when I'm using an action on a skill test, so it does make me 1 better, which only ties me. God, only ties me with the 4 Shroud. Okay, it's fine, it's fine. I mean, I could alternatively get the Gravedigger Shuttle, then discard it to just get a clue at my location. Should I do that? You know what? I am going to do that, actually. It will take a whole nother action, but that's the action I would investigate anyway, so I have one more resource. Because, yeah, I've got sledgehammers to fight with. I still don't have any way to make my hand size better, but I guess I could play the tool belt and then, like, swap in the thieves' kit and the sledgehammer. Okay, but then, well, actually, I guess I don't need to do the hasty repairs yet, do I? So I'll go and discard the gravedigger's shovel to get a clue at my location. And then for my final action, I'll go and get the crystal remains. So I should have looked at what it does. Put crystal remains into play in your play area, Victor 1. If crystal remains is defeated, shuffle with the top 2 cards of the encounter deck and place them face down in a stack beneath the nearest lair location. Oh god, when your turn begins, take 1 horror. What? And wait, how can I get them? Investigators of Crystal Grove can spend 1 clue as a group to add a crystal remains you control to the victory display. So if I don't want to take horror every turn, shoot. But I need another clue. I can also just resign at the estate house. But I want to get at least 2, right? Well, crap. There's got to be other clues I can get at the caverns and stuff. All right, so I got this. And that was my entire turn, so the hasty repairs are still there. Getting a resource. I'm drawing for Chroma Blight. And I got the backpack. So backpack uses up the same slot as tool belt, which is an annoying thing about it. But I get to look at the top 6 cards of my deck and put up to 3 items I see underneath it. And I can play them as if they're in my hand. Now, which items would I actually want? I have a lot. I don't have my magnifying glass. That would definitely help me investigate better. And there's also a fingerprint kit. So those are the 2 things that I might want to look for. But, yeah, I don't know if I want to use that or not. Either way, end of my turn. And this guy's still being all aloof. I haven't discarded any cards, although I guess one of these could make me. Okay, going to the next round. What's going to happen? Oh, God, another chroma. Oh, limit 1 per investigator. Oh, so I guess I just waste this, right? Yay, I think. It doesn't have surge or say, you get surge if you can't fit on investigators. That was great. All right, so yeah, I think I'm going to leave the miasmatic shadow behind and maybe go to one of the caverns. So let's go 1, 2... Mineral Tunnel. While you're investigating Mineral Tunnel, gets +1 shroud for each card in your hand. What? That's 5. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so that was 1. Oh, wait, don't I? Yeah, when I turn begins, I take 1 horror out of 6. Yikes. Worst case, I just run to the estate ruins and run away. Okay, so that was 1, 2, I don't know. Let's go to the Ashen Slope then. The soft ash makes navigating the steep terrain especially treacherous. Oh, when you reveal it, test 4 or take 2 damage. Okay. Oh, man, and the shroud is also terrible. Here, give me a break. Right, I've only got 3, so I still fail and take 2. Okay. I've got 8 life, though, plus her, so I'm not too worried about that. That was it, right? 1, 2, 3. None of these are easy to get clues from. All right, enemy phase. This guy follows me to the Crystal Grove. I got way too many resources. 2 more until the Chroma Blight pops. Another Thieves' Kit. Gosh darn it. Well, at least I can discard that in the matchbox to help me investigate. Yeah, I think I might want to do that. Oh, but I forgot. I still have that. All right, we're at 5. And calcification. That doesn't look good. Put Oh, God. Another limit 1. The first time you move each round, take 1 direct damage. As an action, I can test 3 agility. If you succeed, discard this. Oh, or you may take 1 direct damage for this test to automatically succeed. Oh, that part's pretty not too bad. I just don't have enough actions to do all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to get rid of that right away and just auto-pass the test. So that's 1. I guess I'll play the Thieves' Kit. That's 2. It only cost me 2. Or no, let's play the backpack. See if I get my better item, the fingerprinting kit. Okay, so look at the top 6. And okay, there's my magnifying glass at least. I'll put that under it. Is there any other items? My entire deck pretty much has items, but can a backpack go under a backpack? I guess so. Not much use to it though. Oh, sorry, that's not a tool, so I did have to pay the full value for that. But I can play the magnifying glass for free, since it's a tool and that's fast. Okay, so there's 1 to get rid of the thing, 1 to play the backpack, so I still have 1 left. Okay, so now let's play the toolkit, or the Thieves' Kit, but I have to pay the full 3 for it. So if I can get rid of hasty repairs next turn, I can investigate with 3, +1 4, +1 5. Maybe discard Matchbox or Thieves' Kit or something to get a little bit higher if I need to. Although we're about to get a crystal dude. I might need to get a weapon out. Oh man, now I don't really have the hands for a sledgehammer, do I? Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Fast. This is from the new set. Play only during your turn. Attach Tinker to a tool asset in your play area, and attached asset takes up 1 fewer hand slot. I still do have too many for the sledgehammer, though. But at least that's a little better. Oh, I guess I can't discard a card to boost myself in a skill test because that guy's right on me again. Yeesh, I thought I had all the time in the world, but this thing's already about to pop. And I got Captivating Gleam. Surge. Put it into your threat area limit. Stop doing this. Okay, Force. If you have no cards in hand, take 5 horror and discard it. Well, that should never be a problem. Okay, and I gotta go again, though. This one again? Okay, I gotta test 3 willpower. Boom. Oh, definitely fail all of them. Because this makes an insect enemy attack. Luckily, there aren't any yet. I take 1 damage, and I discard a card at random. Oh, which is going to have the guy attack me. And shoot, I just realized I forgot to take an horror for the crystal remains. Yeah, this is bad, y'all. I think I might just have to leave. I think this is the best I'm going to do. All right, so I lose one of my sledgehammers, which means this guy that I can't hurt engages me and makes an immediate attack. Now, let's put both of these on Greta. Oh, this is great. This is great. And then I take another horror from the crystal remains I'm still hanging on to. Gosh, this is such a bad result, but I think I'm just going to run away. God, I hate to do this. True solo is tough. And yeah, I mean, really having balanced stats is not the best thing. I wish I'd gotten a better investigation engine going. That would have helped. But then, yeah, this guy being unhurtable, because I could have busted out my sledgehammer and killed most average people pretty easily, but not him. Yeah, so God, how embarrassing is this? I'm going to go 1, and the miasmatic shadow hits me, but not enough to defeat me. And then 2, I'll resign. I did get 1 crystal remains worth 1 victory point, but that's it. Ouch. So let's go to the resolution. As you walk down the slope, utterly exhausted, you hear the sound of 100 beating wings. Pale, translucent insects cover the black rocks atop the hill, whirring incessantly. What are they saying to each other in their own alien language? Do they know about the world beyond the heath? You shudder when you wonder how many more lurk in the caverns below. Okay, so I have 1 or 2 crystal remains, so I go to resolution 2. You lay the remains you could recover in the bed of Theo's sky blue truck. The buildup of minerals makes them simultaneously heavy and incredibly brittle. You don't know what warped the bodies of the Pearl family, but it surely wasn't quick. They must have been horribly deformed when they died. You document the remains and a few samples of the crystal growths, then bury the remains in a shallow grave at the base of Pearl Ridge. Okay, record the remains were partially recovered. Feel like a failure. Resolution 3. Once you have left Pearl Ridge behind, you study Susan Pearl's diary. The account chronicles the rise and fall of Susan Pearl's investments in agriculture and mining on Hemlock Isle in the decade leading up to 1906. The business entries are interspersed with prayers, illustrations of birds, and occasional details on the strange warrens underneath Pearl Ridge. Other entries mention spreading sickness in the orchard workers in the Pearl family, along with repeated hardship in their mining efforts. The last entry, written in a long, erratic scrawl, catches your attention. I'm still not certain if what I experienced was a dream or vision. At midnight, I awoke to the uncanny feeling of being watched. And when I opened my eyes, I saw a pale sphere of watery light in the corner of my room, dancing like something in a fairy story. As soon as I laid eyes on it, the thing flew out the window, and I followed it out into the orchard. What I saw is something I can only describe as a miracle. 100 more fairy lights danced in the orchard. As I watched the lights, they grew brighter, and I felt almost as though I was flying. A heady bliss took over my mind, and I felt different somehow, as if there were another me, 5 other me's, beating within my chest. And as I looked out at the trees, I saw myself in them, too, in all of this, strong and thick with knotted skin and branches for arms. I saw myself, my place in all of creation, and all of my fears for Ezra, for the mine, for our health, melted away. I knew only joy, such joy. I am the eyes, all eyes that see. I am the brilliance. All right, it says we recover the diary. Go to resolution 4. Miskatonic Survey, June 1926. Members Marquez, Musgrave, et al. Surveyed Pearl Ridge. Northern hills were devastated in an unknown event. Persistent contamination has led to mineralization and crystallization of organic life. Local caverns overrun by a massive insect colony. Insects exhibited vespid and termitid behaviors and physiology. Further study needed. Okay, so each investigator gets 1 experience, and it says we can spend our experience now because you'll earn it during Preludes but not be able to spend it. Okay, so we'll get to that later. Okay, in the areas surveyed section of your campaign log, check off Pearl Ridge, and it's day 1. You know what? This was a pretty fast playthrough. Let's go ahead and see what the first Prelude of evening, because this one I skimmed through. I don't think you have to actually set out a board. I think you just read stuff. As you return to Hemlock Vale, a young red-headed girl in a rabbit mask introduces herself as Rebecca, Mother Rachel's daughter, and leads you by the hand to dinner in the Commons. The long building's large barn doors are open to let out the rich scent of roasted vegetables and savory meat. The people of the Vale sit and eat in lively conversation, each of them in their white gold cloaks. At the head of the room, Mother Rachel stands up and calls for attention. Rebecca leads you to the now picked-over dinner spread as the room falls silent. Meine lieben Freunde, what a blessing that all of us have come here on the threshold of infinity, and what a greater blessing still that pilgrims have come here so full of light and curiosity. Mother Rachel gestures to Dr. Marquez to her right and to you. We have waited for the right moment to open our community which is truly the sanctuary of transfiguration we long dreamed of. For each of us yearns to be remade as we wait to joy in our light with the light of the cosmos. The room bursts into applause as Leah Atwood and several locals place trays of honeyed cakes, topped with robust red fruit in the center of each table. Your stomach grumbles as you take a bite of shriveled greens. It has a faint bitter taste and a sharp smell. Okay, one at a time, each investigator must decide individually keep eating or don't eat anymore. I'm saying no. I'm not going to finish. Okay, you choose where to sit for the community meal. One at a time, each investigator may choose a different codex entry from the following. If there's only one investigator, you may choose 2 to resolve. After you've read the appropriate number of sections, proceed to resolution 1. Okay, so Dr. Marquez, Mother Rachel, and William sit at the head of the table. Judith's face is pinched in frustration as she talks to River. Leah is watching the room as Gideon talks to her. Should I, double down on my friendship with her? Theo, I've also talked to. Theo leans against the doorpost, looking outside. Some children in animal masks eat honeyed cake to sit alone. Okay. Let's do Leah and Gideon to, double down with them, and then maybe the trio. So let's start with the trio, 31. The Hemlock Legacy. As you seat yourself across from William and Mother Rachel, a thin, older woman with brown skin stares morosely at you. Mother, please! William vainly attempts to spoon-feed her chowder as her eyes follow you, lips pursed. Mother Rachel and Dr. Marquez sip earthy tea as you seat yourself. I've been wondering about the history of this place, the professor says to Mother Rachel. She nods to you to speak up. You must decide what to say. Who are the Atwoods? Who are the children of the stars? That's something she mentions. He said that all of us are children of stars and we have stars inside. Or who are the Hemlocks? It's the Hemlock Legacy. I'll ask you who the Hemlocks are. Okay, the Hemlock family is the very lifeblood of Hemlock Isle, William boasts. In our heyday, Hemlock Harbor was a bustling hub for mariners far and wide. My grandfather Wilbur commanded dozens of whaling vessels, but his pride and joy was the Annabelle Lee. He looks forlornly at his elderly mother. Naturally, it sank, as did the profits from the whaling industry. My grandfather blamed it all on some kind of curse. He believed in it so strongly he locked my poor mother in the attic of our family home for weeks at a time. William squeezes his mother's hand. I don't think she ever quite recovered. Okay, I increased William's relationship, and I get 1 bonus experience, but again, I can't spend that yet until I complete another scenario and get the chance to. Okay, and I record that William shared his legacy. All right, now let's go to the other one with Leah and Gideon. A lazy fly buzzes around the central table. Leah sits at the edge of her seat, scanning the room as Gideon idly scrapes the gravy on his plate. They look up as you arrive. Okay, I must have said, I heard you were a sailor, Gideon. Leah, tell me about your work. I'll keep you friending, Leah. When am I not working, Leah sighs. There are 50 mouths to... Oh, this is the southern. There are 50 mouths to feed in Hemlock Vale, and Rachel tells me there will be hundreds more for the feast. Soon we don't run out of food during the feast, there'll be nothing left to eat after. When I ask Rachel, all she says is just trust in the plan, Leah. Okay, I get another bonus experience and increase my relationship. If Leah searched the Pearl Ruins. Yes, that's because I went to that place. Proceeded to Old Blood 4. So I'll be out there at the crossroads tomorrow, rain or shine. My sister has me running back and forth to Tad's all day, like I'm some kind of work horse, the older woman sighs. So she shared her frustrations. Okay, now that I picked 2 of those, I go to Resolution 1. The evening chatter fades as residents trickle out of the Commons. There's an uncharacteristic spring in Dr. Marquez's step as you reconvene outside the Commons. The sunset casts the sky in shades from ochre to lilac to violet. The professor cracks a handful of walnuts as you share your impressions of Hemlock Isle. This island has the density and the special variance of a jungle, but it's far more dangerous than any jungle. I have no clue why someone would start a commune in such a hazardous environment, but I understand it wasn't always so deadly. Something was introduced and fundamentally changed the local ecosystem, Dr. Marquez muses. Okay, I've read A Color Out of Space, or The Color Out of Space, multiple times, so I think I have an idea of what's going on, but maybe y'all don't. You mention the unusually good mood shared by everyone in the village, and the professor nods. Most everyone looks blissed out of their minds. It's like walking into an opium den. But as far as I can tell, the food isn't laced with anything, though I didn't try the bread pudding. I've never liked bread, and the last time I had pudding was in Oxford. The professor's reference to the prestigious university brings Bertie Musgrave to mind. You ask where he is. You haven't seen him. I assumed he went back to the boarding house to rest, she scowls. Theo offered to lend us his truck for the evening. I thought we could observe some of the local wildlife at night, but I suppose we should find him first. A heavy breeze stirs the trees and grass around you, smelling of cedar and pine. Dr. Marquez grips her cane. If you'd rather take the truck and continue the survey, I can look for Bertie on my own. Okay, they remind us that we don't get to spend the 2 experience we got, and we can search for Bertie with the doctor, or we can, just go to another stage right away. But if we do, we have to, oh God, I don't want to do that. No, let's definitely go play the Twisted Hollow. Okay. So that'll be the next scenario. And yeah, I think I'm going to film that one for a Patreon bonus before I take the rest off the air. So thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry that was such a pitiful showing in the scenario, but at least I got away with something. I got 1 experience to add to my deck before I play next, and then 2 more in the long run, bonus experience. We'll see how things go beyond that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good gaming, and I'll see you the next stop. And a special thanks to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Steve Wren, Miles, and Wayne Scott. Have a great day, everybody.